everything.
Bumping and banging.
Big boy.
Big boy.
All right, it is going down, man. Hustle in the house. Nipsey
What
Hussle.
up?
What's going on with you, brother?
I'm back in here.
I ain't
know,
mad at
new
you,
building,
man.
new
Yeah,
house.
what up,
We in the neighborhood still.
You've been working your ass off, huh, Nip?
Man, I got to. I got a crazy overhead, man. I got to work hard every day.
What makes the overhead so crazy, though? Because my thing is this, Nip, you are an empire.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Nipsey is a brand also, man. And what I love about it, Nip, is like you guys come with not only that independent real grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But y'all come with some out the box kind of stuff too.
No
you know what I'm
question.
saying? Like you sold me a CD for $100.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm
bought
saying?
one
And Jay-Z bought
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
of them?
Yeah.
How many
yeah.
did Jay-Z buy? Like 1,000?
He bought 100 of them,
He
right?
bought 100 of them. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like,
Crenshaw
man,
CD.
I was like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like-
was gonna slide it to you free.
Yeah, I was
Big
like-
made me take the 100.
Yeah,
For
I
the
was like,
record,
man,
you know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna take it from Big.
But on the real, the whole pay get down, and that's outside the box, though. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
Thank you.
And now, so what does Nipsey do now? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, you know, the marketing for Crenshaw was it was a movement called Proud to Pay.
Yeah, man. And I was
And-
proud to pay. That's why I paid,
Most
brother.
definitely. But it was by choice. It wasn't by force. If you wanted to get it for free, you can go online and download it.
Yeah.
And you know, I just think that the way we buy and consume music, we test it first.
Right,
we
right.
get the bootleg first.
Yeah, man.
Even if you love the artist, you test it first. And then if you like what you hear, if you was inspired by it, if it gave you some game,
Yeah.
if it gave you some good times, you support it as like a reciprocation of what you got.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know,
Dope.
I fuck with it. Here go. you
Yeah,
know,
some people
$10.
won't even go back and get it, though.
If it's whack, you
Right.
know, you like, I ain't gonna listen to it. Why pay for it?
I hear you.
So I'm like, you know, I just wanted to test out what offering it free would do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
How many
and,
copies did you print?
man, originally we printed 1,000 of Crenshaw. And
Right,
we
right,
sold
yeah,
them
yeah,
out
yeah.
the first night.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was crazy. It was like a line around the corner. We had a pop-up shop on Fairfax.
I
and
remember that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you know, I was like, wow.
What does that feel like, though, Nip? Because you know what? Like, you super serve your audience. And when you do a show, you know people came to mess with you. You know what I'm saying?
question.
And it's not like, you know, back in the days, Nip, everybody like, oh, man, I need to be on Def Jam. I need to be on such and such.
Yeah.
And those kind of days are like, you know, if you get with a major and they working for you,
Right.
cool. But you also show people the blueprint, once again, that, man, you don't have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
I mean, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Just you remember us from early, Big. You know what I'm saying? Just from in LA before
Yes, sir.
we had too much of anything going. And we was always just, we ain't want to wait on nobody. You know, we was like, we going to work with what we got for now.
yeah, man.
We ain't going to just wait until it's going to be a platinum album, until we got a major label to spend $1 million on marketing. we going to release music and repeat the cycle and get bigger off just working with what we got.
Hell yeah.
And I just believe in hustling like that. You always got individuals that, you know, got fronted or, you know what I'm saying, borrowed or whatever. And you got the individuals that got it off the curb.
Hey, Nip, do you ever trip off of just like some of the places you go to now? You know what I'm saying? Not
You mean
even
in terms
city,
of just like the
international. Yeah,
Yeah.
like where your music takes you.
man, I was just in Europe. We had a sold out show in Paris, a sold out show in London, sold out show in Amsterdam. And, you know, I watch other artists, you know, that perform at these same venues. And it's like these major label artists with hit records and top 10 Billboard songs and sold units. And we sell out the same venues, they sell out international. And it's inspiring, obviously, make you want to work harder.
Hey,
you know?
Nip, when was it or how was it? You know, when you trying to get there,
Yeah.
and you walk in and it's not sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a gang of them nights.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
know,
gang of them
Damn.
nights.
because
yeah.
people see it now, and you know, social media. Like I follow you, and I
Yeah.
really see what you're doing.
Right.
And people see it now, and they think like, man, like this ain't overnight. If it was overnight, it was a long night. That's what I
Yeah,
tell cats.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you do got to go through those pains also.
It's, you know, they call it the chilling circuit.
Right? Oh, yeah,
You know
the
what I'm saying?
chitlin circuit. Hell yeah.
I did 52 cities with Game in 09 for free.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Wow. Damn.
I did 52 nights, back
Really
to back,
though?
every night.
So were you just in a rental and
Man,
just
we was in
following?
the RV,
I heard that.
and it was 18 of us.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? To start, all of my homies, we had more people than we needed.
Right.
We had one bed in the back. I had a bed every night. but,
Right, I hear
You know,
that.
the homies was
Everybody
figuring
else
it out.
Just stand up sleeping.
Yeah, you know. And we was going through Minnesota, and the heater broke, and then they was sleeping on the floor, and it was freezing. The windows was freezing. It was like sweating. It was so cold. The windows was sweating. And you know, Kendrick was on that tour with us too.
Oh, Lord.
J-Rock and Kendrick was on the tour with us too.
Hey man, Nip, at that time, do you think like,
Damn.
man, is there a part of you that's like, man, we hustling,
Man, I
towards
was
something
fresh out
or
of county jail.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? And I was happy to leave the hood.
I heard that.
On positivity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gone.
I was happy, you know? And we got $1,000 one night. They paid us $1,000 at no kid.
Oh, really though?
That's all like,
See?
okay, we made a rack. You know what I'm saying?
He had to come all the way back home.
Yeah, but
Like, man.
it was building fans though. Every
Yeah.
night we get in front of 2,000-3,000 people and perform songs, you
I
know?
heard that.
And it was an artist like Game who was similar, come from the culture we come from,
Yeah,
and,
man.
you know, telling a story similar to the story we was telling. So that was one of the best things we did. We didn't get paid for it. It took a lot of energy out of us, but it educated me and it also, like, you know, informed the fans that I was coming.
Yeah, it's a hell of tuition into the
Hell
school of
yeah.
experience too.
Most
though.
definitely.
Nipsey, I know you're hard working. What you working on recording wise?
Man, I've been in the zone, bro. I built a new studio in Burbank. It's not far from here.
Congratulations to you on
Yeah,
that, man.
Thank y'all. I bought all equipment, you know what I'm saying? I started from scratch and just bought, you know, 4 studios worth of equipment because I got 4 rooms in my setup.
Go ahead now.
So we just you know, invested heavily.
Why was that necessary though? You know, like cats are like, man, you could. Why not go anywhere else? Why you feel like, man, you know what? I need to build my own compound.
Man, I just believe in ownership.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe in, you know, investing in yourself. When you make money, you know, you could easily go a lot of places. But I just feel like, you know, your foundation should be strong before
And
we
especially a studio for
Yeah.
somebody that do what you do.
Come on, man.
That's not a bad investment.
Nah, and
You
being
know?
able to, you know, give other artists a
Yeah.
working environment.
What about material wise?
Material wise,
Yeah, what's going on as far as like music?
Music. Oh man, my music. You mean?
Yeah.
I just been in album mode. You know what I'm saying? I've been in album mode since I came back from tour, from the Crenshaw tour.
How far are you in, or how far are you away from?
It's coming this year for sure.
Go ahead now.
I'm gonna drop it this year. Once I'm done, it ain't gonna take long to get it out. So it's not about, you know, a 3-month rollout or a 6-month rollout. Once it's done, we gonna announce it. Announce who's all involved with the release, and we gonna move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you see yourself kind of moving to? I don't know if there's major talks on and so forth, or
Right.
however comfortable you are, but will we see like, okay, this will be probably the biggest that you guys have seen from Nipsey Hussle?
That's the goal. Obviously, every time we release, we want it to be the biggest release thus
Hell yeah.
far. You know, but being as how Crenshaw was a huge situation, Mailbox Money made a lot of noise. I just want the music to be better. That's what I can control. I can make sure I grow as an artist and my music, you know, improves. And then also, you know, after what just happened with my last 2 releases, we damn near got everybody at the table with as far as major label partners.
Right.
So if we do, you know, move forward,
But it'd be the right move for you.
yeah, they know
And
my
you can
philosophy.
dictate,
They know
yeah.
my business model. I need to be involved as a partner. I need to be an owner.
I heard
And
that.
they know that we ain't gonna have convos if it don't start like that.
Man,
You know?
All right, well, let me know because I.
You know?
You
Go in
ready,
there
Big?
with you. Yeah. get my pen back out.
ready, bro?
Catch
Big wear a lot
writing
of hats,
pen.
man.
You know what I'm
Big
saying?
go time
Catch
fast.
writing pen. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I'll
is that
drive you there.
Victory Lap? Is that what's
Yeah,
cracking?
Victory Lap is gonna be the name of the
What is
official-
Victory Lap? Why the title?
I mean, you know, since my mixtape grind, I had a campaign called the Marathon. You know, and it was really when I left Epic. A lot of the songs that was going on my album turned into the Marathon mixtape, and then I released it. And then you know, it's just like a metaphor for it being a long haul.
Right.
You don't judge it by one leg of the race, because if you judge me by my first leg, you'd have been like, you know, Nip the biggest dude on the West. But then if you judge me by the second leg, you might be like, Nip didn't drop an album and disappointed. But if you judge it by the third leg, you're gonna be like, Nip an independent mogul.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
step
yeah.
back and look at it as a marathon, like this dude came from, you know, single house family, a gang-banging environment, you know what I'm saying, didn't graduate high school, and been through the bullshit of the streets of LA, the county jail, the bullshit of just the traps they got set. And, you know, as a self-motivated hustler, turned it into this.
I heard that.
And, you know, that's why Victory Lap, to me, is gonna be the next project I put out. And my biggest one, you know, like you talked about, maybe partnering up with somebody, it's
Right.
gonna be the one that we put on that platform, because it represent what I felt we could do on the Marathon, leaving a major label. It's like we can build this brand on our own and come back, you know, as a boss.
The NWA movie's coming out, man.
Yeah.
Did Snoop hit them up for you to play, or hit you up for you to play Snoop Dogg's character in the movie?
Yeah, Snoop called me. Before Snoop, Ted called me. Snoop, one of his business partners.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Before Ted, Dre people had reached out. Before Dre people, I hollered at F. Gary Gray, the director.
Uh-huh.
And I told them all the same thing, like, and I ain't, you know, them dudes is icons and legends, and them is the people I grew up listening to and looking up to. But, you know, I study branding. And one of the laws is, you know, walking no great man's shoes. You know what I'm saying? You don't do
heard
that.
that.
You know what I mean? As much as I love, well, I won't say no names, but these NBA players that's dominant in the league that get compared to Jordan.
Right.
You know, you gotta look at why Kobe wore 24. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta look at why he wore 24 and what that says. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know, I think I could have pulled it off authentic because I grew up on Snoop and I know his lyrics by heart. And
man.
You know, we watched Snoop since he came out. But I just feel like, you know, it's people in America, in the world that might not have heard Nipsey Hussle yet. It might not have got exposed to what I'm doing yet. And that might be the first time they get exposed to it as an actor portraying Snoop.
That's a hell of a reason not to do it.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you would think like, man, that's a no-brainer to go do it.
Right.
Or man, like, hell yeah, it's an honor. So, but you took all that, it's an honor.
Yeah.
I understand it. I grew up on it.
And I wanted to be a part of that movie. That movie's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
I seen
man.
clips of it. Gary Gray was showing me like the storyline before they start filming.
Dope.
Yeah, and recently I got in the studio with Dre too, and you know I just heard the soundtrack for it. It's gonna be epic, and I would love to have been involved.
Right.
You know, outside of the capacity I was involved, because I done music on the soundtrack with Dre.
Go ahead now.
So, but I just really thought about it, and I asked my team about it. I was considering it too, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
have
I gotta
to.
stick to my guns. And I told Snoop, you know what I mean? He was like, I understand. You know, he like, I just, you authentic, you'll be able to pull it off the right way. And so I got it, but I just had to respectfully say, no, I can't
And
do
then
it.
plus, man, with just being that brand also. You know what I'm saying? Like Dogg is a brand. And then, like how you say, you still, like every day we working on what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And if there would have been an introduction where it would have been, you would have never probably been other than, oh, that's the dude that plays Snoop.
Yeah.
That's the dude that plays Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
And obviously, I'm going to work regardless. So my work eventually might have, you know, spoke for itself.
Yeah,
for the people
yeah.
that maybe got introduced to me through that role, hypothetically, if I
Right.
took it. But, you know, I know what I got planned for this year. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Let me just stick to my script and stick to my guns on that one.
That's hell of a name.
That
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I read about that as well, and I was like, gosh, he turned that down.
Right.
And then when you read into it and your reasoning, I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. Totally get it now.
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
this show
question.
didn't call me to do nothing in that movie.
They tripped out, man. They
you
Yeah.
tripped
DJ?
out.
Say what
Come
now?
on, big.
Man, they didn't call me to introduce a record.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
got you. Then when we do ours, we gonna make sure.
Yeah,
We had a
I'm
neighborhood on
playing
deck.
Nip. I'm gonna start growing my hair now.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start because they called me for a role. I'm gonna be like, but they call me for bull stuff roles too, though, man.
You got
They be like them
attached.
1 day shoots. You know what I'm saying? Want me to play big boy? They just want me in the movie so I can talk about it.
Right.
Yeah,
You
maybe
know what I'm
something
saying?
where
On the
you can
radio.
method act or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, man. It'd be greater later.
I
It'd be
mean,
greater
you know,
later.
it's all money in, man. If the check right, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Fuck it.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I think. Is the check right?
Right.
Yeah. I must have missed this one, man. And I apologize if I didn't
Oh,
know this,
shit.
man.
What you missed, big?
Lauren London, that's you?
Yeah, that's my girl.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man, how long has it been?
Man, almost like 2 years.
Nice.
You know?
Oh damn, I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get my my
We
snooping
know
into
though.
other
I don't
people's
be-
business.
I don't be doing the most, so it's easy to like not know that. You know?
Really though, man. But just man, you should have told me this, Natalia.
Sorry, I thought
you
you
supposed to know
knew.
this.
I thought you
You know what I'm
knew.
saying? Are you a romantic guy?
I mean,
do you
know,
cook?
I don't cook. Nah, I don't know how to cook. I'm
Okay.
a busy dude. I'll be in the studio more than anything.
What is
I'll be
like
working.
Valentine's days and birthdays for like for you and Lauren London?
I mean, you know, I think that you want to do things.
That's the longest pause I ever heard you take, man.
Yeah, you know, you gotta
It
be
was
careful
like,
when you say things. You gotta be real careful.
He's
You gotta
stacking.
pick your
Nick was
words.
like, I really
Nah,
don't
I
want-
think-
he was over there like, I really don't want to talk about this shit.
Nah, I think
What is the big
birthdays, Valentine's and all that, you supposed to just make your girl or your girl supposed to make our nigga feel special.
Go ahead now.
And feel like, you know, it's not generic. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that, you know, it's like you reacted to something you know about them with the gift.
Right.
So I feel like them type of gifts let people know like, oh yeah, you've been paying attention to the convo or to like, you know, my personality or whatnot.
Hey man, one of my cats that used to work with me by the name. Do you know Q Deezy?
Q Deezy?
Yeah, he out of Philly.
I know the
He
name.
worked with me
He
out
worked
here
on
also.
radio, right?
Yeah, and he worked with me here. He had a crush on Lauren London, and one time they was
Right.
at a red light,
Right,
and she looked at him,
right,
and then you look over, drove off.
right.
He thought that he had her.
Yeah.
So we went on air, and she was like, all she did, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you look
yeah.
at everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had a red light, you kind of just glance over, and he was like, man, she looked at me. I was
Right.
like, Q, you look a mess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so were y'all? How did y'all? Were you guys rolling? Did she look over at you at a
Man,
red
I had
light?
done an interview years ago when I first came in the game, and I said, I'm going to get that girl. You know what I mean? And
Damn.
so,
And then
you know,
how long from there?
That was probably like 09.
Hey
Oh,
man,
wow.
so
Yeah,
whatever
that was like
plans
09.
you have, you know exactly like
I
what.
stick to the script, man.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm
Get
saying?
it?
Nah, but that one thing I noticed about myself when I like, I think, you know, thoughts is powerful in
Yeah.
all facets. Because even my career, even my life, you know, things end up turning out exactly how I visualized them. Not in this time frame I expected. You know what I'm saying? You always want shit to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I just had clear visions. You know, obviously outside of my girl. I just mean in music and hustling and just how I viewed myself as an adult when I was a young dude coming up. And your thoughts powerful. That shit, you know, come to life if you stick to your script. And,
Hey,
and,
man,
you know what I'm saying? Handle your
I
business.
used to tell my mom, like when cats, I didn't know what it was gonna be, but I used
Right.
to tell cats, I'd be like, man, they're like, yeah, big if you make it. I'm like, man, not if. When I used to tell
Ain't
my
if,
mom,
it's when.
I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna be famous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you gotta think, man, we're homeless, we living in a motel.
Believe that.
I'm like, Mom, I wanna be an actor.
Yeah.
And she went on and got me acting books. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
anybody else probably look at the kid like, man, shut your ass up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shut up.
But I always knew that
Right.
I always knew something was gonna pop.
No question.
Always knew.
And that's
man.
why it popped.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
hell
you knew
yeah.
it was going to pop.
Hell yeah. Even with my wife now, I remember I told my homeboy, I was like, man,
That's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
get
my
her.
wife, yeah.
And Ray, you still owe me $1 too, homie.
Oh, that was a bet. Y'all bet on that?
Oh man, kick in, because he was like, man, you not. I was like, watch. And I'm 500 pounds too. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
watch this. You know
Believe
what I'm
that.
saying? Hello, Veto, I'm coming home to get that. Show you right. Hello. Please don't bend Nipsey ear with that bull
Yeah,
you
come
talking about.
on.
I didn't
Man,
say
that's
anything.
trademark, man. Come on, man.
Nip, can you please not touch
Yeah.
the bell?
My bad, my bad.
No, when other people ring it, watch. No, just,
Louis gets
just
jealous.
ring it. It's $1,000 in charity.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Charity.
yeah.
Send me that invoice.
Yeah, show you right. Yeah.
Proud to
just
ring the
make it out
bell.
to Luis Ibarra. Yeah,
Hey, no, that's
Be proud to
trademark,
ring
though.
the
That
bell.
means something in LA.
Yeah,
That
we-
little
yeah,
cowbell.
yeah.
We had to
cowbell
leave with
mean
it
a
too,
lot.
brother. We had to like.
Come on, you think I don't know?
When we grabbed it, we threw it out the window. We
Bell moved.
we tucked it in Louis' ass cheeks. It was a mess.
Hey, man.
Cheers to that motherfucker.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, it was a mess getting that bell out. Best believe that. We got Nipsey up in here, man.
Yeah.
What's going down with the clothing line, Nip? Yeah.
Marathon Clothing.
Hello.
Obviously, it started as a Crenshaw t-shirt.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
know.
I mean? And my brother, he just such a cold hustler. I got to give all the credit to my bro. You know, he came home from the pen. It's ironic how our lives went. You know, as soon as I got my deal, my brother went to the pen. He had to do 3 years. So I was in the county. I got out. He was fighting his case. I got my deal. He ended up taking his time going to the pen. So for the first, 2 years of my career, he was down. So when he got out, you know, he didn't want nothing. He like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find my lane. And he set up a table on Crenshaw and Slauson at the bus stop because when he went to jail, he had to shop before. You know, my
Right.
brother had a house he owned, you know, multiple cars. He bought my mama a S500, bought my dad a BMW, bought the whole family cars, bought my granny a Jag.
Go ahead
And he went
now.
to the pen and he lost everything. The house got foreclosed on.
Damn.
The shop that we had originally, he lost it. So he came back out, even as he had money put up, like he had bread on, he had like credit lines. He came out, he thought he had a situation to get back on his feet. All his credit lines went dry.
Damn.
He had a foreclosure on his credit because of what you know, the situation with the law. But he came back out, he hit the ground running. He set up a table at the bus stop on Crenshaw and Slauson and was selling socks, T-shirts, and Crenshaw shirts. Like socks, T-shirts, and he had the Crenshaw shirts, like
Yeah.
10 at a time. Because we had a video, Hustle in the House, where everybody wore the Crenshaw shirts. We didn't make that a business at all. He did. That's how he came home and he hit the ground running. And his first 2,000 he made, he got the shop back. You know, he got a different, in the same parking lot, but next door. You know what I mean? And because he still knew the landlord. The landlord knew he paid rent on time. He was a good businessman. He got the shop and moved the table inside the shop. He ain't buy no furniture. He just moved it inside the shop and opened the door. And little by little, I'm talking about every dollar he got, he invested back into that situation. And now he got, we built a new store on Crenshaw.
Yeah,
It looked
man.
like a boutique. It looked like you on Fairfax somewhere. You won't think you in the hood. Next door to it, we got a cell phone shop. Next door to that, we got the original store. You know, he do crazy numbers online. He got 10 employees, you know what I mean?
That's dope.
We did a collab with Young and Reckless earlier, 2014. We did our first clothing collab with them. That was big. Our pop-up shop was the biggest collab they did, you know what I'm saying, so far.
Damn.
So, you know, my brother just that type of hustler though. Anything he do, he gonna max it out. You know what I mean? So he seen the Crenshaw thing working and he just ran with it.
Man, I got a
That's dope.
partner
Yeah.
named Frank. I need to hook you up.
Yeah.
Hook up.
Damn.
Yeah,
brother
shout
with
out
him.
Black Sam for
Yeah,
that,
he
man.
came home and didn't do nothing.
Nah.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Frank.
Nah, don't
do
throw
this
Frank out
motivation,
there, man. Don't throw Frank out there.
Don't you throw him out there. I can. You know what I'm saying? Frank. Call up Nipsey Hussle's brother, man. Let's get it together, Frank.
Black Sazy, what up?
Yeah. Mailbox money.
Yeah.
What is that gonna cost me, man?
For you, it's by choice.
Right.
If you want the proud, if you want the proud to pay, it's a rack.
Explain mailbox money, Nip.
Mailbox money is, when you own an asset and you get the income that the asset generates, we call it mailbox money.
Man.
If you own real estate, you get mailbox money.
Just go there and it's,
Yeah.
it's one waiting on you.
Period.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
hello.
And if you own publishing, you write your own records, and you ain't sold your publishing, that's mailbox money. You get you own your masters when them albums sell on iTunes, that's mailbox money.
Yeah, man.
And that's the business model of every major corporation that give advances.
Yeah.
They give advances to participate in the income of your asset,
Right.
the mailbox money.
And so you release the mailbox money.
Right.
And how much is that? Like if it's a proud to pay,
1,000.
$1,000.
But it's only 100 copies of this one.
I heard that.
So
Jesus
it's still
Christ.
the same math. We the proud to pay version to make 100 bands. But, it come with some things you can't buy. You know what I mean? So the people that did buy it, they got a piece of like a novelty item in the mail, or they're gonna get a novelty item in the mail if it ain't landed yet. And it's something you can't buy. It's like a branded item.
Yeah.
And it's like a one-on-one. You can't buy it. You gotta buy the album to get it. And so just things like that I think is dope, just to like give your fans that really fuck with you and really believe in you, a campaign and give them priority in your base. Like, these proud to pay, these are my real ones. This is
Hell
what I
yeah.
do it for. You know what I'm saying? And
What is it like when you go across the country and you see somebody that come up and say, and they like, man, I bought it.
they'll walk up with their CD in their hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it'll show me like I'm number 458 or number 391. You know what I'm saying? But then I got an app also that Ryan Leslie is a owner in and designed the actual software. And what it is any transaction that happens on any of my websites, we demand more information. So if you're gonna buy something, you gotta give us more than your credit card info. You gotta give us your name, number, email address, social networking.
So going to your database.
So it goes into my database, and I can see my real fans. You know what I mean? I can see who spends the most with me. A nigga walk up to me like, Nip, I'm your biggest fan.
Right, you be
I
like,
can pull out, actually, my boy,
bro.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
really know you're not.
Yeah, you really number like 51, but respect though.
But keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Keep on going.
But in a big picture, you got to think artists that have had huge success, because we plan on having huge success in the future, bigger than, obviously continue to grow, but we ain't comfortable being, underground or being viral or being cult. We want to be, we aim to be the biggest we can be.
I heard that.
And so we plan behind that. We plan to be the biggest. And if you look at like artists like 50 that sold 10 mil, if he knew who them people was, you know what I mean, that bought that album, them 10 million people.
Yeah.
And he had them on his database.
And directly.
What can you do with that?
Yeah.
And especially an artist like him that sells more than music. You know what I'm saying? And you can see, like, even for your touring, if you sell 10 million units, how many of them people was in LA?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What kind of venue could that fill? Why you need Ticketmaster?
Right.
Why you need all these middlemen if you going directly to your people? You could do what James Brown did. You know what I'm saying? And he went direct. He was
Get the
booking
money in the
himself.
bag. Hell
Period.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's the goal long term for myself as an artist. But then as a, business model creator, because I'm one of them too.
Yes, sir.
We
Go
can
ahead.
we can apply that to other artists and other products. Like you can, Adele's doing 10 mil right now, right? In 2014. Where them people at? Who are they?
Right.
She should have her proud to pay. She should have them people on database. She should be able to hit them and be like, good looking out. Or, you know what I mean? My
And this is what's
concert
coming.
is this day. Here's the ticket link. Or you know what? I made 5 songs that I'm not giving the label.
Yeah.
And if
imagine
you want
that.
me to mail it to you, it's $100.
Right.
What, you know what I mean? How will you multiply your value?
I sure wish I would have charged you for this interview.
Yeah, man.
It's all
TED
good,
Talk
bro.
right now,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? It's all
We
good.
can't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's called pay to play. You got to sign a sheet so you can do it.
So we heard that Jay-Z hit you up before he launched Tidal. What's your thoughts on Tidal?
Well, he ain't hit me up. We was at the Rock Nation brunch.
Okay.
And, he like, Nip, holla at me. And I pulled and we just chopped it. And that was really the first time we talked. Other than, like, Made in America. We shook hands and all that. But he just was like,
Like, this is what's coming kind
like,
of thing?
I just bought Tidal. And, I follow the news and business. So I'm like, I know. You know what I'm saying? And he like, here's my plan. I don't want to, go on the record about something was said in confidence.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But he just like, here's my plan. And, we need artists like you, you know what I mean, for where you influential at, the level you influential at, you know what I'm saying, on board. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I believe in. That's my campaign. And Jay rapped one of my lyrics to me. He like, yeah, trying to do it like Puff do it like Russ do it. And that was just like, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? He like, oh, you listening? You know what I'm saying? Like you heard.
Hey man, is it hard for you to do a Mount Rushmore of hip hop? Like if it was 4 people that you had to put.
Nah, it ain't hard.
Really though.
Nah,
what's your Mount Rushmore?
I say Pac, Big, Jay, and the third is arguable. You know what I mean?
You mean your fourth is arguable?
Fourth,
you got Pac,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Big, Jay.
And then, I gotta say Snoop.
Go ahead now.
I gotta say Snoop Dogg. Just cause it's like, you gotta say Snoop. For our generation, you can't. Man. Snoop is, came out as the nigga.
Yeah.
Period.
Hell yeah.
It wasn't nobody in his era.
Hey, Nip, were you a Snoop Dogg fan first?
Yeah.
Because I got into radio, I was a fan first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my first interview with Dogg, I'm like, oh damn. Same with Cube. I'm a fan first.
Right.
So what is it now when it's just like, oh, that you're still a fan, you still know what's going down, but you're like, oh man, that's my partner now.
I mean, I think like I'm a real one. I ain't gonna never act like I'm too big to be a fan.
Right.
But it's just it's a way you don't be a weird fan. You know what I'm saying? Right. You give a nigga that respect and pay homage, and after that, it's like, we two individuals and we'll progress as that.
Let me tell you what I recognize and what I love also, Nip, is that at one point, and not even at one point, it just seemed like people tried to either compare.
Right.
Oh, this is the new.
Right.
And this is, this is Dogg. So, but for some reason, it seemed like that separated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you was trying to turn a blinker on and get into Dogg's lane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at one point, it's like, man, he looked like Snoop or something.
Right.
And now that doesn't happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Have you noticed that? Is that something you worked on?
I mean, I did notice it coming in, and even in my area, niggas was like, damn, you the hood Snoop Dogg. Like, throw that at me, right? Just because I represented my area and our culture as street niggas from LA first when I came in. That was the content of my creativity. That's what you'll get from my music. And as I progressed and built fans, I gave them more of who I am and what I believe in as a human, as a person, my individual story. Not so much the collective story of the area or of LA in the time frame I grew up in. I think like the Bullets Ain't Got No Names, mixtapes, those was just about the area, about the time, about, collectively. But as my stuff progressed, like the Marathon and TMC and even Crenshaw, as much as Crenshaw is about a place, it's also, if you listen to them songs, it's also about what I believe in and who I am as an individual. And I think those values stood up and people like, okay, that's what we gonna identify Nip as. You know, what he believe in, his business acumen or,
because you never played or never was like a sloppy carbon copy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just with being from LA, being from a certain side, being from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, obviously being, cribbing. And then, my look, I got braids, I'm slim, I'm tall. That's natural. But I mean, I think it's your job to distinguish yourself. Branding is about your differences.
Yeah, right.
It's about shouting out your differences. It ain't about, what's the same about you.
And you know what I loved about it, man, is that you gave it to Dogg, and Dogg is also so comfortable with being Snoop Dogg that I never heard this dude try to shut you out or say something
Snoop
sideways. Man.
Snoop kept it 100. All out of everybody, Snoop was the most, and he's probably the biggest and the most in demand out of all of them. But Snoop to me was the one that kept it. It was most familiar to what I grew up around. You know what I'm saying? And the East Siders too. I recently,
What's going on?
Yeah, I brought them out, Cat and the East Siders at a show I did recently. And I got to really chop it with Trady and Goldie. And they just got a familiar energy. You know what I'm saying? They just remind me of how I was raised and what I came up with.
And Trady, that's another one. He hit the ground running too.
As soon as he got out.
My man, I don't know where he got my number. He was like, big.
I'm out.
I'm like, man, the door open for you, Trady.
Yeah.
Nipsey, definitely want to thank you for coming in, man.
Every time. Thank
Show
you
you right, man. Does anyone in here besides Big Boy know where the name Nipsey Hussle come from?
Y'all good if y'all do. Y'all good.
Yeah.
See, I ain't make my name up. I was given my name, and I like how it sounded, so I took it.
Really,
but the
though?
dude that gave it to me was way older. He was one of my older homies that I grew up with.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
That's dope as hell.
How'd they come about?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Google that, man. That's all right. Google that.
Google it. You know what I'm saying?
Google.
Best believe that, man. But Nipsey Hussle. Well, the first time I heard the name, I was like, oh, damn.
you know what's crazy?
And you live by the name though, as far as hustle.
The hustle part is the part I brought to it. You know, Nipsey was somebody's name before it.
Yeah.
You know, but the hustle part, the part I think they threw that name at me for. Just because I was always, we was in the studio, I was like 15. We used to have a studio in the hood.
Yeah.
And it was full of grown-ups. Everybody was grown. And, you know, we was just in there for 3 or 4 weeks, not leaving. So everybody's pockets kind of fell short. Because we was all like, you know, getting how we live at that time.
Right.
And I left for a couple hours, came back. We had an ounce of weed, 2 bottles of champagne, and a bucket of chicken. And, you know, niggas just laughed at that and threw that at me like, look at this little nigga. And so, you know, that's how I got the name.
And so where does Nipsey?
That's from
Come
Nipsey
from?
Russell.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
found out later. Obviously, I didn't know dude. I didn't know the comedian because he was from a
Right.
different era.
Right,
But
right.
my homeboy, Baby Gooch, he, you know, that was just a name that had a ring, I guess. And so he threw it. It was like a joke. He said it like in a laughing way. But I just like how it sounded.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? I
you
ran
just gave
with
it away too, so you don't have to Google now.
Yeah, there it is.
Stop Googling it.
You got it
That's
from
what
the
it is.
source.
We got
Got it.
Nipsey Hussle up in here, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in and hanging
Yeah,
out
Thank
with
y'all,
us, man.
big. And
Yo.
again, man, you know, my apologies on the whole up, bro. You know, I've been in the lab, and you know
As
what I'm
you
saying.
should.
I've been trying to bleed it, and you know, I know we on. Well, that's it. Actually, I just been in the lab, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man.
I ain't gonna over elaborate, but just for the record, you know, you always been an A1 Day One supporter of Nip, so I'm always on board for whatever.
Man, I appreciate you, Nip.
Off rip.
Best believe that Nipsey Hussle up in here, man.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Big boy.